Southern University pledges hazed to death. What the hell?
And Liz here with you. So we're going to start with what is a busy news day from the WFBI team. All suspects accused of the hazing of Southern University Omega Psi Phi fraternity pledges have now turned themselves in.
Our chief investigator, Chris Nakamoto, has been on top of this one since day one, exposing the initial lies that were reportedly told to investigators. Chris, what have you learned now?
Lies. That's not good. You start off with lies.
Good evening, Liz and Greg. Details in newly released arrest documents show who is accused of hitting Caleb Wilson and goes into specific details about those who were there the night during that hazing ritual. It's what helped investigators get to the truth. Tonight, Caleb is no longer here, and the 3 young lives charged with hazing pledges are facing serious felony charges. 2 of them ended up in handcuffs today, and only the WAFBI team was there as police hauled them away. Isaiah Smith didn't utter a word on his way to a waiting vehicle on his way to jail. This video filmed Tuesday morning after Smith turned himself in to the Violent Crimes Unit in Baton Rouge. Smith is facing felony hazing charges, accused of punching at least one of the pledges. Investigators noted Smith was known as the Dean of Pledges, and it was his car that was used to transport Caleb Wilson's unresponsive body to the hospital, where Wilson was pronounced dead. A court commissioner set his bond at $25,000 for criminal hazing, a felony. We then spoke to his attorney.
Up until this afternoon, we didn't know what the allegations were. We didn't know what, who's accused of doing what. And, in clear print, you can read the affidavit. I read the affidavit for the arrest warrant. In clear print, it's clear that he never made contact with Caleb. Now, that being said, this was a freak occurrence.
The hazing ritual came to light 2 weeks ago. Fraternity members initially reported that Wilson, a student at Southern University, collapsed at this park in Baton Rouge. That was a lie we first exposed. Instead, Wilson was actually at this warehouse, which was being leased by the father of Isaiah Smith.
Isaiah is terribly remorseful about this. This is nothing that anybody wanted, and I think it's...
And he probably didn't want to get his father in it because he's... Now you liable because you rented this out, and now these kids here, now this family can sue or something. I don't know, but you can't be going that hard. Like, come on, it's Southern University. They ain't even like... I don't even know them. Maybe they are a big school and well known, but I didn't even know them. I thought it was almost Syracuse University. I had to look it up. Southern University. You pledging there and you taking it that far?
We're still in a state of shock about what's going on. He's a student at Southern. He's a member of a fraternity. He loves the fraternity. He loves the pledges. He loved Caleb. So to be sure, remorse is an understatement.
Smith is among 2 others also implicated in the hazing. Kyle Thurman was captured by U.S. Marshals at this home in Port Allen Monday night. This is video of him as he was escorted from the West Baton Rouge jail back to the jurisdiction where the hazing occurred Tuesday morning. Warrants indicate the Southern pledges were broken up into 2 groups. Thurman allegedly punching the first group with boxing gloves. And this man, Caleb McCray, allegedly punched the second group. Police say Caleb Wilson was in that second group. McCray is facing the most serious of the charges.
Like, how was it? Did they was it a freak accident? Like, you know what I mean? He took a punch to the chest and his heart skipped a beat or stopped? Like, was it, you got to tell us how, because we know the kids, and I don't know if these kids, I guess they kids, they still, right, between 18 and 25 probably, they punching them. They're like, hey, everybody got to take 5 shots. Blah, blah, blah. Isn't it? I mean, that's how Houdini died, right? Somebody punched him and he couldn't take it. Was it just like everybody took the same amount of punch, or did they like pinpoint Caleb and they did something extra to him? Everybody got 5 hits, but they really took it out on him. I don't know.
Slaughter, which could carry up to 40 years in prison if convicted, along with a felony hazing charge. Arrest warrants say McCray is accused of punching Wilson 4 times, at which point Wilson collapsed. His lawyer asking the public not to rush to judgment.
People have a lot of opinions on this case, but there's still a lot of information and variables that are unknown at this time. And so when I ask people to hold off judgment, I'm just simply asking to just trust this criminal justice process, that as the case develops, there's more information we'll learn. And I know it's early to ask for any, empathy or sympathy toward my client, but his life is has been altered.
Philip Robinson says Caleb McCray is grieving tonight.
And he experienced a traumatic event himself. This is a tough situation all the way around. I am confident in my.
Because a lot of times, hear me out, people. If everybody got punched 4 times, and this is like a thing where they could get other people and other fraternity members to say, yo, we all got punched 4 times. I got punched 4 times. He got punched. The last 200 people to go through his and join our fraternity got punched 4 times. And dunked our head in water, got an apple, and came back up. Then this is a freak accident. Now, if you get people to say, yeah, man, he punched us 3, but he really took it out on Caleb. Like, he really hated that guy, and that's different. Otherwise, I mean, it depends on the cause of death. What happened? He collapsed after 4 punches. This young kid, vibrant, in the peak physical shape of his life probably, and he took 4 punches and died, and collapsed. That, did he just take something in the spleen or something and it burst? Or I don't know. You need a lot more information for this before I come to an opinion.
My client's innocence. I do feel that my client will have an opportunity to defend himself and give his point of view.
The heartache of Caleb Wilson's death has 2 communities from Baton Rouge to New Orleans facing enormous grief, including at the Pilgrim Baptist Church in Kenner.
Caleb grew up in this church from a baby. He was baptized here, so he's been a member all of his life. As a matter of fact, his entire family, his father and his mother, grandfather, who was a former pastor of this church for 44 years.
Pastor Mitchell Stevens knew Caleb Wilson well and will be there when his life is remembered.
I'm just looking at him and his frame, and he probably got like a little bird chest. Man, R.I.P. to this kid, first of all. R.I.P. to him. And young kid doing the right thing, going to school in the band. For what we see, he was doing all the right things. Both of these kids, all of these kids were doing the right thing. They were just having fun, joining a brotherhood. I mean, it's something like, I mean, as a Marine, you go to Marine Corps boot camp. I'm sure stories and things, the rare occurrences where something happened, somebody died, or stay under water too long, fall off something, or in they sleep. You don't hear about that. But just like on the football field, I mean, stuff happen. People have died on the football field, been paralyzed. But most people just take a hit and they're good. But sometimes that wrong hit, bang, that right time, that speed, that force meet, and it's just the perfect storm. So you really can't tell from the story whether this kid had any type of ulterior motive, whether he was aggressive with it. It seemed like everybody. So that's what they need to tell us. What happened to the rest of them?
This weekend for the extraordinary things Wilson did in his short years on Earth.
He played his trumpet many times when he was in from college. He would play for one of our worship services. But, just seeing him around. So he was always at my house, or my son was at his house. So just missing the closeness of our families.
Southern is planning remembrances on Friday, followed by his funeral at Pilgrim Baptist Church in Kenner on Saturday. McCray is due back in court in May. Smith is due back in court in June. Right now, jail records show bond has been set at $25,000 for Kyle Thurman. Greg?
Yeah, see, I don't know. We have to see. And then they say, he was the one who punched him, but then they got Isaiah Smith. He's the dean of Hazing, our pledges. So I'm sure they can get people, they can get their brothers to say, yo, we do this all the time. This is normal, nothing crazy, out of the ordinary happen. But somebody was killed. People want to answer, so they got to arrest them. And then they lied about it initially. So they're saying this was a freak accident. This is what we did. So there's the hazing thing, right? That's not looked upon. It's kind of like bullying almost, hazing, I guess. But it's voluntary hazing, really. I mean, you could always say no, but they want that you want to fit in. So, and I'm sure Caleb probably thought, I could take these punches. So I don't know. Let me see. That was his name, right?
Specific details about those who were there the night during that hazing ritual. It's what helped him. Who is accused of hitting Caleb Wilson?
Okay, Caleb Wilson. They had me thrown off when I seen another Caleb McCray. So Caleb McCray hit Caleb Wilson. That's crazy. Let me know what y'all think, Cave Dweller. Is it enough for you to really say yeah, or you think it was a freak accident? If you've been in college before or fraternity, do you just think like, yo, this is just a freak thing? Everybody go through it. He just maybe had something wrong with him. Maybe he had a heart murmur he didn't even know about. Who knows? You know what I mean? Let me know what y'all think.